Good afternoon. I'm Rick Stred, and I'm excited to be here today with Aaron Hines. Aaron owns and operates a fitness facility in Franklin, Tennessee, where he helps change the lives of individuals 45 and over who want to lose weight, move pain free, and do things they didn't think were possible. He also spends a lot of time and energy helping young athletes reach their full potential by teaching them the fundamentals of being a great person and athlete on and off the field. Aaron is going to share with us his thoughts and ideas on how to help men and women 45 and over lose weight, increase their energy, and live life pain free. Hi, Aaron. Welcome to Fit Experts TV.
Hi, Rick. Thank you for having me today.
So let's jump right into this today. Aaron, why do you think adults 45 and older struggle to lose weight, increase their energy, and live a pain free life?
Rick, I think that some, not all, try to relive their glory days of like what they used to do. I've come in contact with a lot of people who used to do this, used to do that, used to bench press 225 or deadlift, back squat. So the glory days of being an athlete, when they get back in the gym and they end up usually getting hurt. So I deal with a lot of those individuals who have been hurt or don't want to get hurt. I think sometimes life gets in the way as well, and they don't put their health as a priority for them. First and foremost, fitness is kind of the last thing for them to want to start or also do, because they got other things, 100 different things going on. As far as life goes, they take care of everyone else, and this leads to increased weight, joint pain, injuries, reduced flexibility, and low energy down the road. And I see that on a daily, if not hourly basis with my clients.
Okay. Are there any other big struggles that you see when they may be putting off getting the help they need to lose weight or live pain free?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is that they put off getting the help they need to lose weight and live pain free, which just exacerbates those issues they may have. So a lot of times they dish it off to the side. And what I end up usually seeing is three or four injuries, not just one, when they probably could have got help months prior to things getting to where they are now. So they can actually find and get help for that one injury. But now we've got five things to work through, and it just becomes a little bit complicated. It's a mess at times, but it's also fun to be able to engage with those people and to help them from day one up to 8 years down the road. A lot of times when I see those individuals, they've got more than just one thing going on. So once you're in pain for those individuals, I think it's very easy to let things go as well. We make excuses about why we can't walk up and down the stairs or why we can't go for a walk to get a little bit of cardiovascular exercise. And then 1 month becomes 3 months, which becomes 6 months and a year, and you've let yourself pretty much tumble downhill, and you've got 12 different things you're trying to fix at one time.
So, if adults were able to lose weight, increase their energy, and really live their life pain free, what does that mean for them?
I think for most, it's kind of a relief. There's a lot of things that once they're able to get out of pain and live life pain free, reduce that weight, there's a lot of things that they're able to do that they didn't think were possible. I've had people come in with wheelchairs and walkers and different things that they didn't really have the confidence they needed, or because of other things going on in life. So they just needed that one thing to help them get jump started, so that way they can have a little bit more confidence, a little bit more energy, so that way they can take that next step, get better balance, get stronger, and lose that weight, so they can kind of kick all those things to the curb. I also think they would be able to regain, like I said, confidence, they'd sleep better, have more energy, have a little bit more pep in their step. I've got a lady right now who's 1 month in, man, and she comes in, she's fired up and ready to go. She's a train wreck when I first saw her. But these individuals will also be able to do things they didn't think were possible or capable of. And I think that's the biggest win for these type of people. It's doing things they probably did 20 years ago, and now they're able to do them now.
So, you're seeing a lot of pretty dramatic transformations. I want you to do us all a favor and walk us through your obviously proven process to delivering folk whatever their dream come true result is. Explain the process that you use to deliver that for them.
Yeah, so I think the first thing is just trying to build that relationship with them over the phone initially, kind of seeing what they're actually interested in. And then I bring them in, and my training process is we'll schedule that initial evaluation with each and every person. I like to put a face with a name. They can see if we mesh together. I've got a pretty good personality, I think. So I just want people to come and meet me, see who I am, what I do. I'm not just I used to tell people, I'm not a guy with a beard who you just showed up and want to hang out with for an hour. So we go through that initial setup phase to get your evaluation started. And then I want to know your health history. I want to know your training experience, your injuries, your current injuries, previous injuries, what you've done before. Have you been to physical therapy? Have you not? Did you go to therapy? Did it work? Are you Do you need to go now? Do you need a referral for something that's going on that I can't help with? And I like to see what has kind of worked well in the past. I like to see what people have done before. Some people haven't done anything. Some people have tried a CrossFit, high intensity interval training, boot camp style. So I want to get an idea of what they're looking for. So that way I know they're a good fit for what we have to offer here at Premier Performance Training. Not everybody's a fit, but I try to screen those individuals first and foremost. So that way we're valuing each other's time. So once we kind of get that health history through, we'll go through what I call a movement screening process. We'll go through, if needed, about 10 to 12 different exercises, including some strength exercises, some flexibility, mobility exercises, just to see where they are when they're here at day one. That gives us a better understanding of where we are, where we need to be, and where we can shoot to be in the future. And I think that gives people a real understanding of like you meet them where they are and you can actually program something for them specifically, but they can also work out with other individuals at the same time. So once we have all that information together, it usually takes about 45 to 50 minutes. I will review that with them, trying to give them a general idea of their strengths, weaknesses, where they can improve on, and then we'll review their goals and objectives of what they want to accomplish. I think that's huge. So you can kind of reiterate the fact that's why they're here. We're not here just to hang out and have a good time. We want to make sure that we're moving along the continuum of getting results. And so if we can be on the same page with those things, we can move forward and schedule their next training session. So with all that, it sounds like a lot of stuff, but we take all that together and that gives me a better idea of what I need to plan for, what exercises, what they can and can't do, what we need to stay away from initially, because not every exercise is a good fit for everybody. There's things that every individual can do. It's just a matter of, we meet them where they are, not where we want them to be. We want them to progress each and every workout, to be able to squat if they can't squat, or do a deadlift, or do bench press. So just depends on, it's individual to individual. I'm trying to think, other than that, every probably workout is catered to them, even though we're working with other people. And I think that's the beauty of working in small groups. You may have a lower body injury, but you're working out with other people who may have an upper body injury. So we're all in here for one goal, and that's to get better each and every day.
Very good. So basically what you're saying is if you can help with the things you talked about, then if they just show up, get their workout done, as long as they're coachable and accountable, you're going to get them the results they're looking for. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the top three things. I would say I don't have all the answers, but these are the proven things that have worked. I've been doing this for 12 years. And if you're able to stay the course and just make small incremental progress, whether that's with your nutrition, you're coachable on that, you're able to show up and be consistent 2 to 3 days a week and be held accountable, I think where it's a win-win. If you don't show up, we're going to maybe do a loud clap for you when you walk in the next workout. We're going to make it known that you missed, and in a fun way, not a, hey, look at you missed. It's just like, hey, we missed you. Glad you're back. Let's get you back on track. So I think those are the three things that if you can do those things, we're winning at Premier Performance Training.
Very cool. So tell me this, because there's obviously a lot of working parts on your side to make sure that everything's going to work for each individual. How challenging is it for them to follow your process?
I think initially it can be very difficult. I think because there's a lot of maybe other programs they've been involved with before, and they think this is the same type routine of, hey, we're gonna do your macros, we're gonna throw a meal plan at you, we're gonna just burn the fat and do all these things, and it can be overwhelming. So I think the first 3 months is probably the hardest for most, but if you can get through that 3 month hump, I think you're pretty good. So I would say some results are faster, can be fast and taper off, depends on how much weight you have to lose or what you're trying to accomplish. Some results take a lot longer. I mean, I've had clients a year and a half lose 60 pounds and 40 inches just staying the course. And I've also had those who kind of go up and down. They've been with me for 8 years, but they're consistently trying to improve each and every day. But I also think it's about how committed you are. It can be as difficult as you want it to be, but if you're committed to staying the course and getting the results, I think that can be easy for everybody.
Okay, so say somebody is committed to getting the results. How quickly can they start to see results? I mean, how short a time frame might something like that happen for them?
I like to give people not unrealistic expectations, but 3 to 6 months. That's a good, I mean, maybe even the first week. I mean, I think a result for somebody, I think we look at it too much of like how much weight we've lost, or I don't know, I drank another bottle of water. I think that's a win for some. So the results may vary, but it's just a matter of like what do you feel that you've accomplished in that time frame? It could be 2 weeks. You're sleeping better. You've got more energy. You're doing stuff around the house that you haven't done in months. Maybe you've lost 1 pound. That's great. I always say the more we can think about other results besides the weight lost, I think we get to think, oh, those other things to consider long term, short term. So I would say you could be sleeping better and feeling better in 2 weeks, but drastic results, maybe 3 to 6 months. It depends on, like I said before, how committed you are. If you're committed and you want to do everything possible and jump headfirst in, I mean, I've seen people lose 10, 15 pounds in 3 months and ecstatic. I've tried everything under the moon and haven't seen results. So I think the biggest thing is if you're here to make excuses and going to lie to yourself about it being too hard or too much work. And I like to say, if you say the word can't, you might as well walk out of my gym. That's not a good word to say. I can't. Just say, I haven't done that yet, but let me try. I think it can go a long way with people from, I have 45 years old up to 75. So, I mean, results may vary, but it's about, it's about you and your commitment level. Everybody's different.
And I think a really important point you touched on there when you said some people might see 15 pounds of weight loss in 3 months. What people tend to get caught up on is that phrase weight loss and not realizing weight loss and fat loss are completely different things. And that there's a lot of outside factors that could go into how quickly they get the results they're looking for. In a perfect scenario, yeah, they're going to see results a lot quicker. So I appreciate you saying that because I think that's a point a lot of people miss.
Yeah, I think so. And it also, I always like to say, if your nutrition is on point and your sleep's on point, then your in-house workouts are going to be fantastic. You should see better results. But if you're letting the world dictate how much you sleep, how much TV you watch, and how stressed out you are, you're not going to see hardly at all. So it's going to be tough for you.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What are two or three things that people over 45 need to know if they want to get the results we're talking about?
Number one, I think results take time. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 6 weeks, it could be 8 years. I've had clients for 9 years, so it's just consistent results over time. Number two, I think is you can't get ultimate results without exercise and nutrition combined. I see too many individuals 45 and up want to just focus on one or the other. If your nutrition's about 70%, your workout's about 30%, we're going to be getting results all day long. And consistency is key, not perfection. Too many I see want to be perfect on the water intake, caloric intake, protein, fats, carbs, getting the right amount of calorie burn. If you can be consistent long term, then the results will speak for themselves. Don't be
So,
perfect, because that's, I mean, being perfect with everything, I feel like it's overwhelming, and people just like want to toss things out and they're like, screw it, I'm giving up.
so are there any mistakes that you've seen folks make when they're trying to lose weight, increase their energy, and live a pain-free life?
Yeah, this is going to sound kind of arrogant, but they choose the wrong gym. They don't do their research before they sign up. And so sometimes I'm fixing problems that were resulted of maybe a gym they went to before that they should not have been doing those type of exercises for the injuries they had. And that's just me coming from an orthopedic background. Always do your research before you join somewhere just to know what you're getting yourself into. I think the other thing is they fall off track. They'll be really gung ho for the first 3 months, and then who knows, they have a tailgate party for the Titans, and then it's like, all right, we're starting over. And then that weekend tailgate ends to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then it's like 5 pound weight gain. So it's just the vicious cycle of falling off track over and over again. And then the other thing I see with some are just unexplained injuries, like doing garden work around the house, pull your low back out, or trip going upstairs. I had an individual, no issues at all, fell down her stairs, broke her arm. Unexplained injury. It didn't happen in the gym. It just happened over the weekend. So what do? We had to work around that after 6 weeks of rehab and things like that. So you never know what'll happen over the weekend or on trips or hiking, people falling, scraping their knee or tearing their meniscus, whatever it is. So I think those are the three things that happen that I see.
And I think those are three really powerful points. With the exception of the Titans tailgate, it should be a Chiefs tailgate.
We're okay.
Yeah. Okay, so can you share with us a few clients that you've worked with who have gone through your process and what were the results they've gotten?
Yeah, Rick, I've got probably four I'll touch on here. So I've got one client, her name's Carol. Carol is, she works at a very kind of high end salon boutique, and she's on her feet all day, crazy busy, got a lot of clientele. And she came to me with the whole point of getting better balance, losing weight. I mean, she's been with me We've been working out, working on nutrition. She's actually seen a dietitian to get extra help with that. And just over a year and a half, man, we did a great video on her a couple weeks ago. She's lost 60 pounds and 40 inches just by staying the course. I mean, she travels, she goes on vacation. She knows that if she's going to have a cheat meal, she's going to be back on track. And that's working out 2 to 3 days a week with that. And so her balance is drastically improved. Her posture, I've even had clients go, "Who the heck is that walking in the gym? I don't recognize her." And I said, "That's Carol." And they're like, that's no way. From day one to now, they're like, they can't be the same person. So walking more upright, better balance, and a lot more confidence. And she's late 60s, so she's rocking it. Another guy I have, Mike's a former running back in the NFL. He's got every injury under the moon, from meniscus tear to ruptured his Achilles. He's trains with me 4 to 5 days a week consistently for probably the last 8 to 9 years. He's a long time client of mine. And he said he's lost 30 pounds. He turns 50 next week. He's dropped 30 pounds in the last probably 6 months, and he gets compliments all the time. It looks like he should still be playing the NFL. And then one more, I have a lady named Kriya. Kriya's always kind of struggled weight gain. We've had weddings to try to get ready for. We've had a bunch of other things, life events, been with me a long time. And she found something, and I'm not big on certain diets, but she found something that worked for her. And I just gave her 110% of my support. And she dropped 40 pounds here in this last year. And she rewarded herself with a little bit of skin reduction surgery. I'm happy for her because she's down to an ideal weight of probably 150 pounds. Her orthopedic issues have greatly reduced. She's got double knee and double hip replacement. So that pain and discomfort that she was carrying around with that extra 40 pounds, man, she walks in here with an attitude, which is great. That's what I like to see. The confidence level is very high. And if I have time for one more, this is a kind of a special one for me. Her name's Ruth. Ruth was actually, during COVID, she was hiking around one of the local parks and went to tie her shoe, and she slipped and fell and broke her femur. She broke it right in two. And she laid there, I think, for probably an hour and a half before somebody came and found her. It's luckily they found her as she did. She's rehabbed, got out of physical therapy, and she comes twice a week. And we've gone from probably body weight squats to 35-pound kettlebell squats to med ball sit-ups to using the rower, and just things that she never thought she had the confidence for because of the pain and discomfort that the rod in her leg from her hip all the way down to her knee. So I think just those 4 people, man, that's just huge confident boosters for them, long-term, short-term clients. And it's just amazing. If you put in the effort, the results will come.
Very good. So if someone's interested and would like to work with you, can you walk us through the process that you take them through to get started?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is contact me at premierperformancetrainer.com. You can fill out our form on the website under the contact us, or you can click the small group training tab. The biggest thing is I want to know your information so we can connect, figure out what's best time for you to come into our facility so we can meet 30, 45 minutes, get to know one another before we decide to move forward. After you fill that information out, it's just finding a good time to come through. And once we get that filled out, I think it's kind of game on from there with that.
Okay, so great. Well, I'm going to change directions on you here for a minute. Okay. Yeah. What's one question you wished I'd asked you today, and how would you have answered it? So think about that a second.
Let's see, Rick. I think one, so I'm 30, I'm about to be 37. So I think, why did I choose the 45 plus crowd to cater my business towards? I always get that question because I'm not over 45, but I chose this group because I felt they needed more attention than any other group of individuals, adults I've worked with. So I felt like this group has tried almost every gym in town. They've looked at everything possible to lose weight, get in shape, and they've been injured some way, somehow down the road. So I felt like it was my calling to work with these people, get them back on their feet, get them back playing with their kids, get them back maybe doing some Spartan races, whatever they want to do. So I chose that because of that. Like, I've had my own set of injuries as a collegiate football player. So I felt like I connected, even though I'm about 10 years younger. I just found like it was the right type of person that needed my help. From orthopedic injuries to weight loss, gaining more energy. Obviously, I connect with them. I've been as small as 200 pounds. I've been as large as almost 300 pounds. So the weight loss and the getting over injuries and doing the rehab, I've been there, done that. So I feel like that was a big target market for me because there's not a lot of people who like to work with us. They're too much of a chore too much of a hassle for some people. And I also think too, one last thing, they're a little bit more established in their careers. They find the training to be a little bit more rewarding. They like it. They like to meet and mingle, meet new people. They need and want to be here so they can do things with their kids, like I said, and also see them grow up, get married. So I think that's a big thing for this population.
Okay, so I'm going to try to summarize our conversation today into bite-sized nuggets for our audience. To me, the principal takeaways are to, one, show up and get the workout done, be coachable, and be accountable. Two, making excuses and lying to yourself about it being hard, being too much work, saying the word can't is the quickest way to set yourself up to fail. And if you pay attention to the first two, results will come in maybe as little as 2 weeks. Is that a fair summary of our conversation today?
Yeah, I definitely think that's fair. It's the probably the top three things that I try to stress with all clients. So if we can do those three things, we're going places.
Very good. So to wrap up, how can our listeners get in touch with you if they have questions or if they'd like to discuss working with you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, Rick, is to shoot us an email at ahines@premierperformancetrainer.com. You can go over to our Facebook page. You can look at Premier Performance Training LLC or at Premier Performance Trainer. You can also find us on Instagram. And you can also give us a call if you want or shoot us a text, 615-819-5186. And we're happy to answer any and all questions you have in regards to training here at Premier Performance Training.
Aaron, I really want to thank you for this today. It shines a bright light on a path to losing weight, living pain-free, that people 45 and over simply are not aware of or didn't know how to go about doing it. I want to thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I appreciate your time, Rick. And I think that this will be something that anyone 45 and up can listen to in order to get a little insight on what we do here at Premier Performance Training, because I feel like we are the only place in town who cater to this population, and we are the best at what we do. And I guarantee you that.
Great. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode of Fit Experts TV, where we bring you the world's top fitness and health professionals sharing their best tips, tricks, and skills for helping you to achieving your best version of yourself. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all again soon.